target report by grade level. Okay, if you have not, I really recommend that you get a login and password for the Washington Comprehensive Assessment Program, affectionately known as WINCAP. And when you get into there, you can go onto the online reporting system, and then you will be able to go in and click on your grade level, and you will get a report like this. So what this is doing is this is showing medical aid 6th grade teens SBAC results last spring. And it shows all of the standards on one fell swoop, boom, right there. These are all the math standards. And then it tells you, was this a strength, green plus, or a weakness, you see the minuses, or equal, meaning neither a strength nor a minus. And we don't have a whole lot of time to go in depth of what that all means exactly, but just out of the chute, you're able to take a look at this and say, well, this is a weak area. So the one that Sylvia started with her 6th grade team was apply and extend previous understandings of arithmetic to algebraic expressions. So Sylvia knows about the blueprint. She taught me about the blueprint. So she took the 6th grade team and they went into the blueprint.
Actually, our whole math department did. It was, well, actually, our language arts and our history people did too. But we'll, go ahead.
Well, so then, and I didn't even know about the blueprint. So Sylvia says, let's go look at the blueprint on this particular standard. So here it is, right? Apply and blah, blah. Well, guess what? What's its depth of knowledge level? A 1, and it was a minus. So then, Sylvia took everybody through, tell them about this.
Yeah, this is what we did. We used the blueprints and claims and targets, and we took a couple days. Our math teachers just went crazy about this. What they did is we are in Engage New York, or Eureka Math. And so, you know, different teachers, different levels. So what they did was each grade level, and then they were all working together, went through the blueprints, and they went through what have we taught, what haven't we taught, where are the holes, and what do you think we've covered adequately. And so we did that on every single grade level. Here's what 6th grade taught is, you know, not taught at all are the whites, and then adequate, I think, are the yellows, and then, I don't know, who's got the graph or what it means. So they did that in and then they truly went through this, the whole thing. And it was odd because my 6th grade math teachers, we have 2 of them, part of our job is to be courageous and to make decisions off of data. When I saw our scores this year, and they correlated beautifully with NWA, I had one teacher who I didn't think, she just doesn't have the skills to teach math. And so we changed around. She's a great English teacher, that's what she's teaching this year, and I have the ones who had the stellar scores and the most growth. You have to put people in the right place. If you don't, and even if they want to teach that and whatever, it was a hard call for me to make this year because the guy who's teaching math loves science, so I pulled him out of all of his science, which was a hard thing to do, and I thanked him and, you know, begged him to do it, and I know I made the right decision because our kids are going to fly this year, and basically that's what we're there for, is for the kids, not the adults. And it's easy to say, but when you have to actually do it, those are hard conversations. But anyway, that group of teachers, the 6th grade teachers, they're pretty lockstep. You know, they saw this and they're sticking to Engage New York. So, you know, their scores really weren't as stellar as our 8th grade teacher who breaks rules, and I love him to death because he does break rules. He breaks rules, he's a teacher, he goes, Sylvia, here are the holes. The test is going to be given, the assessment's going to be given here. I won't get to this and this before the assessment. What do I do? And I said, well, Glenn, you're the teacher. What do you think we should do? He goes, I'm going to teach them. And that's what he did. He said, Engage New York, that is not my curriculum. You know, my curriculum are the state standards, and that's what I'm going to go by. And so we had a deep conversation this year with all of the math department, and it was like we broke the chains free from the 6th grade teachers, and they understand it's not Engage New York that we have to lockstep into. We have to get the kids at the standards that the state has set. And so we're changing it up a little bit. Hope it works, but I'm pretty sure it will because we're going to progress monitor it.
So online reporting system, you identify that this thing about expressions or whatever is a weak area. Then you go into the blueprint, you discover, oh my gosh, it's only depth of knowledge level 1, what is our problem? Then you go into the item
This is
specs.
great.
Then you go into the item specs, and here it is, because I'll be honest, Sylvia and I were in our office and I kept saying, what's an expression? I mean, I didn't grow up with that kind of math. I mean, I know math, but expression, I was like, what's an expression? So we get into this. This ends up being a 12-page document that gives you all the examples of questions they're going to ask about this particular standard. But here's the part I love.
And you can use these as your instructional outcomes too. They're written beautifully, and boy, you can't get any closer to the standards than that.
Just explain that and why it ended up being important for 6th grade standards-based grading.
Well, we went to a whole standard-based grading with 6th grade and had to develop the report card, and that was a whole experience in itself, and thank you, Denise. So, I mean, we didn't even know exactly what to put on the report card, and as far as how do you grade them and what does it look like, well, it's all here for you. You can look, what is a level 1? So we grade 1, 2, 3, and 4. What does it look like? This is what it looks like. It's all written down perfectly for you. If you like I said, my whole job for the past 2 years has been to dig and to understand. I'm still not there yet, but I've learned so much. There's so much out there. You just need to look and to see. It's out there. So there it is, written beautifully. So now they know what level a kid is in that certain area.
So will you finish up by telling them your courageous story of your crazy phone call to me after that faculty meeting and what you said to the faculty when you heard that they were talking smack at the union meeting?
Oh, you know, last night, I forgot which speaker talked about this, but you know what? The culture that you work in is, I can't say enough about it. You have to have a culture of trust. And it has to be from the top down, too. I feel blessed to have a superintendent that likes dissension. He doesn't mind me because I'm a little rebel in a way. And I go off on my own beaten path sometimes, and he likes that. And you know, if I had a principal that or a superintendent that just put their thumb on me and micromanage me, I'd die under that kind of a environment. I'm the same way with the staff that I work with. I like dissension because I think when you have it, then you have great conversations and true meetings, and you get everybody's point of view. And if you don't have an environment of trust, and I don't know again who was talking about it, but we have a culture in our building where we don't talk about each other, and I learned that from a principal that I worked with long ago. If you have a problem, there are problem makers and problem solvers. So if somebody comes in to vent to me, they know they're not just venting because I'm going to fix it. You know, if you have a problem with Johnny down the hall, we're going to bring Johnny in and we're going to fix it, because you can't have that kind of underlying stuff going on in your building. So this year, this summer, they had bargaining for the contract, and there were different changes in the contract. And one, they bargained, you can only have so many meetings during the week. So I haven't read the contract because it's still not ratified yet, and we don't have copies of it. So I, get my meetings set up, and when I set them up, it's kind of not in agreement with how I have some real strong union people in my building. With 2 of them thought, well, she can't do that. So they went around and they kind of, all the stuff that's going on, and I didn't know much about it because nobody said anything to me. And so finally I did have about 3 or 4 people say, hey, I don't know if you know this or not, but this is what's going on. And so I'll tell you, if you don't like confrontation, you don't want to be in this business either. I don't like confrontation, but I'm not afraid of it. And so my philosophy is, if something's going on, then you blow it up, get it over with, and go on. So we're in staff meeting, and all this stuff is going on, and I know it is. And I said, well, how many of you guys are here because you want to see students succeed in life? How many of you? and everybody's like raising their hand, and the references are raising their hand. It was good. How many of you think can be accomplished in a toxic environment? And it was just dead silence. And so they knew what was going on. And so the guy that was the big referencer stands up and goes, "I am sorry. I wish I would have come." It was a beautiful moment. It could have backfired on me, but if I would not have taken care of it then, everybody in the building knew about it. It was just kind of like the elephant in the living room. It was like, let's get it out on the table, and let's get it over with, and let's have some discussion about it. And so it turned out pretty well. And again, I'm blessed to have a leadership team who really, they're there for student success, and they're not there for union teacher and that kind of stuff. So basically the staff took care of it, and I kind of sat back and watched it, and it was, it was a great moment. But if I would have let it go, it would have caused more toxic conversations and bad stuff. So anyway, if you know something's going on, cut it in the bud and nip it in the bud and get on with it and get on with your life, because it will come back to bite you if you don't. Trust me.
So one more resource for you, Sylvia Campbell, Principal, Medical Lake Middle School, Using Assessment to Change Culture and Results. Thank you so much.